Hi guys, Jamie from My Starless Sky here, and this week's video, or I should say this Thursday's video, is going to be about Dragon Ball Z plot holes, and a little bit of Super too. But before we get into that, I want to make an announcement. I remember how I was talking about having some special guests on here, and how I thought it was confirmed, but I wasn't 100% sure. Well, as of 2 days ago, it's confirmed and already recorded, and now I'm just doing a little bit of editing, and then I'm going to bring it to you guys. So be excited for that. Got some pretty high-profile people on here. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, all right, let's jump right into it. DBZ plot holes. So, you guys remember in the Boo saga when Fat Boo, before he, went all crazy and everything, he found that blind kid, that random ass blind kid, and he fixed his eyes so he could see again, and then turned something, I think it was a person, but it could have been like an animal, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but he turned something into milk because the kid needed to get milk. And then he brought it back to him. And so the blind kid can see now. And what they do at the end of the Boo saga is erase everyone's memories. So, nobody remembers Boo terrorizing everyone or anything like that. So with that blind kid, if his memories are all wiped, did he just wake up one day and could see? That's pretty funny. I've thought about that for a long time, and I'm like, without remembering Boo, he would still be blind, and just all of a sudden he can see. So that's not really so much of a plot hole, just kind of like a little funny thing. But now I want to move on to Super and talk about the Future Trunks arc with Goku Black. So, the Z-Sword. Remember, the Elder Kai was trapped inside the Z-Sword, and Beerus put him there, supposedly. That was like a retcon, but whatever. So, by my reckoning, the Z-Sword, so to start off, when Trunks fought Deborah and Babidi before Boo was released from his egg, Supreme Kai in the future died. And supposedly this is supposed to mean that Beerus died too because of the link between them. Now, my only problem with that is that Beerus put the Elder Kai in the sword. So that means there's still a Supreme Kai around sealed in the sword. So, I'm not sure if Trunks in the future was implied to have trained with the Z-Sword, because that's what they gave to Gohan. So it's possible that Trunks could have, trained with it, and then, that was it. And maybe that's how he got stronger to get Super Saiyan 2. But the thing is that either way, that's kind of a problem, because the Z-Sword exists in the future, we know that, because it's the same as ours up until 20 years ago, and he was put in the Z-Sword thousands of years ago. So it's there, it exists. Now, the Z-Sword with the Elder Kai in it absolutely should keep Beerus alive if Shin was to die, the regular Supreme Kai, the younger one. So that's technically a plot hole. Now, even if Trunks did train with the Z-Sword and break it, Elder Kai would still come out, and then Trunks would have Mystic, or the, ultimate form, whatever, where you're Super Saiyan but your hair doesn't change. So, either Trunks would be it'd be Mystic Trunks versus base form Goku Black, and I think Mystic Trunks might have that, making the whole arc a moot point, or he doesn't even know about the Z-Sword, and the Z-Sword keeps Beerus alive, therefore Zamasu is a non-issue. So that's a little weird. I just wanted to bring that to the attention because that's something I've thought about. That Z sword is kind of a big deal, and some people have even talked about the oracle fish and how he how he made the prophecy that a Super Saiyan God would appear in 50 years, but that was before Trunks did the time machine thing. So if Trunks didn't do the time machine thing, Goku would have died and his prophecy would have been false because the heart virus. But because Trunks, so maybe the prophecy accounts for time travel. I'm not sure. Like with gods and stuff, they seem to be above that kind of thing. So, but then again, he's just a stupid fish. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Bra's genetics. Now, in Super, we haven't seen too much of Bra because she was born right before the Tournament of Power, and then that was it, and they didn't really address it at all after because it just kind of ended. But with there's that theory that's circling around that says that the reason Goten and Trunks can, present Trunks, can turn Super Saiyan so easily, and they've been able to do it as far back as they can remember. Like, they don't remember. It wasn't the same as the older Saiyans like Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta because they had to go through like crazy PTSD to unlock it, whereas Goten and Trunks, they just were like always able to do it. And like Goten could turn Super Saiyan before he could fly. That's a little ridiculous. But so that being said, the predominant theory of that is that the reason they can do it so easily is because they were conceived after Goku and Vegeta had already transformed. So like it genetically, like, I don't want to say modified, but like their genes were adapted to become Super Saiyans. So they birthed Super Saiyan children, which, that makes sense to me. Toriyama was also talking about the S cells, which I'm sure, being raised by humans, has a contributing factor because I think the S cells are basically the evolutionary, like, equivalent or, like, chemical process of, like, the Saiyan race becoming civilized because they can only become civilized with S cells. Like, they're like mutually exclusive. You can't be like a Saiyan from early Z, like Vegeta or Nappa. You can't be a ruthless warrior like that and turn Super Saiyan because you don't have any S cells, because S cells come from, being a good-hearted person. So, basically, let's bring it back to Bra for a second. Or Bola, whatever. Dub sub. She should be able to turn Super Saiyan just as easily as Goten and Trunks. Even if she's not a fighter. Even if she's just a prissy girl like she was in GT. She should be able to do it, like, just for shits and giggles, just like the same way Trunks and Goten could. Like, she was born after Trunks, so whatever it is, even if the S cell theory or the Super Saiyan genes theory is not correct, like, she was born after Trunks. If Trunks can do it, so can she. That's like no big deal. So, and like, even if she's like just a regular little girl, like, when you're a kid, you get excited over things. So she would have transformed accidentally at some point, the same way Goten did or Trunks did. So, that being said, that should also apply to Pan, because Gohan has been a Super Saiyan for like decades by the time that Pan is conceived and given birth. So like that's not a plot hole, but that's just more something I would like to see in the future. Is Bra and Pan need to be Super Saiyans, like, and hopefully with Kale and Caulifla, like, we're getting a little we're getting more female Super Saiyans where it's not like such a male Chad show all the time. So, hopefully we'll be able to see that. So the last part of this theory, I just mentioned Kale and Caulifla, has to do with, that same thing. And it kind of has to do with the Super Saiyan genetics too. So this is the Universe 6 tailless Saiyan theory, I guess. Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba, they are evolved to not have tails. And, like, as far as we know, so are Trunks and Goten. They are also evolved to not have tails, because Gohan had a tail, but unless it was removed off screen, Trunks and Goten weren't born with tails. But they were born with the ability to go Super Saiyan. So to me, that implies a connection between the two, where, like, the S-Cell thing that Toriyama, created is like the evolutionary equivalent to having a tail, whereas the early primitive Saiyans had the tail as their power up, which was only a 10 times boost. Eventually, they, natural selection, the brutal Saiyans died out, and the kind-hearted Saiyans lost their tails, and then, developed Super Saiyan instead, which is a 50 times boost, which shows that, evolution, survival of the fittest, and, it also, how they say, life will find a way? Even though Universe Saiyan, we only have, a handful, maybe, what do we have, 2 full-blooded Saiyans. Oh, Tarble makes 3. So 3 full-blooded Saiyans, and 4 or 5 half Saiyans. And Pan is not a quarter Saiyan. I don't care what you say. Genetics don't work that way. She's either a full-blooded, half-blooded, or completely human. And judging from what we see in Super, I think she might be full-blooded. So, that being said, it seems like because the Saiyans in Universe 6 are more civilized than the Universe 7 equivalent, thousands of years ahead in as far as evolution, it seems to me to make sense that Kale and Caulifla can go Super Saiyan because, so easily. Because a lot of people are complaining that, they were just given the form that Goku and Vegeta had to work for, and all this PTSD and trauma, and yeah, cool, but you're not realizing that Goku and Vegeta are probably about a couple thousand years behind the Universe 6 Saiyans in terms of evolution. Goku and Vegeta are primitive in comparison to Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba. They are the last of a dead race, basically. So that makes perfect sense to me. Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba still need a little bit more character development, but, that's neither here nor there. That's not what this is about. So, basically my point is that the Universe 6 Saiyans were able to evolve to not have tails and be able to do Super Saiyan, basically, on their own, without any external stimulus, while the Universe 7 Saiyans had to interbreed with humans to get that that kindness of heart, if you will. Goku was only pure of heart because he was hit on his head with a rock. So a child that he had birthed with another regular Saiyan would probably be just as vicious, as a regular Saiyan. And if Vegeta, same thing for Vegeta, if Vegeta had a child, it would be vicious, with another Saiyan, I mean. But the fact that they both interbreeded with humans, and humans are very compassionate and caring, blah, 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 at least in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Maybe not real life, but... So because of that, their Saiyan children were they automatically were predisposed to have those S cells. So, that being said, I guess my point is that it makes sense to me that Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba can go Super Saiyan so easily. So that's my video this week on Dragon Ball Z. Next week, I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but this video will be airing Wednesday at midnight, and the following Sunday, I believe, or maybe Monday, I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted. But so the following week, I will be releasing the first part of the 3-part series that is our special guests. So because this segment of the show is going to have 12 episodes, so I'm going to space them, 4 episodes, 4 episodes, 4 episodes, and each interview will be the last in that little 4-episode chunk. So, yeah, that's it for today. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Smash that bell, blah, blah, blah. And tell me what you think. And, yeah, MSS out.